guys, it's your favorite Q coach. Welcome back to another video. In this particular video, we're going to be taking a look at Hanako Shibuno. She's been struggling of recent. She's just fired her coach who was teaching her the shallow swing. So in this video, we're going to be going over a lot of things, everything you need to know about Hanako Shibuno's swing. So before I get into my thoughts about her new swing, was it good, was it bad? Let's kind of talk about what was the goal of the new swing. And the main goal that I can find was that Hanako Shibuno was trying to get rid of her left miss or get rid of the left side of the golf course. Essentially, that means she doesn't want to have a shot that's ever going to kind of miss left of where she wants it to miss, which is kind of subjective if you think about it. And I want to start off the video by talking about what really does it mean when a player says, I don't want to miss it left. Okay, so a great way to start answering this question is going to be what you kind of see behind me. And it's going to be the typical reference line that I talk about, or if you've ever seen TrackMan GC2 Quad or Flight Scope and you've seen that straight line into the distance, that is the reference line that I call it. Other people call it the target line. It doesn't really matter. It's really the line to where wherever the golf ball ends up relative to that line, it's going to show you if it's missing right or if it's missing left. Now, the first type of person who doesn't want to miss it left at all, they're hoping to hit all of their shots to the right of this reference line or target line, and that would constitute them getting rid of their left miss. Now, personally, I feel like this is quite a severe example, and I feel like almost 99.9% of golfers will never be able to do this on a consistent basis, but that might have been what Hanako wanted to do. However, again, like I was trying to say earlier, it's very subjective, right? Because getting rid of the left side can mean a lot of things. So let me show you another example of someone who I would say is not really missing it too far left and has gotten rid of the left miss. So as you can see behind me, we now have a different type of golfer who is missing it on the left side of the reference line as well as on the right side of the reference line. However, if we kind of go back down and figure out how far away they're missing from the reference line, they're pretty much missing within 5 yards to the right and within 5 yards to the left, which if you're hitting about a 7-iron, that's really, really good for a professional golfer. And I would actually deem this as getting rid of your left miss. However, you still have a good amount of shots that are missing left of the reference line. However, they're not really missing too severe left relative to the player's ability, right? Which in this case, let's say it's a professional golfer, Hanako Shibuno. They're actually doing really, really good. So moving into the main point of the first part of this video, as you can kind of see, getting rid of the left side means different things for different people. So for that first person, if any shot goes left of the reference line, even if it's 1 yard left of the reference line, that would not constitute getting rid of the left side of the golf course. Versus someone like myself, even if I had 50% of my shots miss left of the reference line, but they're within 5 yards of the reference line with a 7-iron, to me that constitutes still getting rid of the left side of the golf course because I can very much manage a 5-yard miss to the left. So again, what you have to do, and really the take-home point for the first part of this video, is you need to set specific parameters that you yourself want before you can start judging if you're getting better or not. Because if you don't set those specific parameters and the goal is just, I want to get rid of the left side of the golf course, but you don't really give exactly what that means, you're never going to know if you actually are getting better. You're relying on emotions. Emotions can get, very, very, let's say, not accurate. And you guys are probably not going to be able to get better and you're just going to get really frustrated. So the reason why the last part is so important to what we're going to be talking about next is because we're going to be taking a look at Hanako Shibuno's golf swing 2021 versus 2020. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at some swing mechanics that could potentially allow her to miss the golf ball to the left. Now, just like we said earlier, we have to define what does it really mean when we talk about missing the golf ball to the left. In our particular video, the definition we're going to give is if she's missing it more than 15 yards left with driver, that would be too far to the left. Now, I'm not quite sure if this is what Hanako Shibuno would define as missing the golf ball too far to the left. Again, we don't know her. We can't really talk to her. So again, we're never going to quite know exactly what she means. However, for the sake of the video and so we can continue forward, let's just say that's the definition. Let's go hop in, take a look at her swing mechanics and see what could be causing her to miss the golf ball too far to the left, which is 15 yards to the left with driver. So the first swing mechanic we're going to take a look at in this video is going to be her club face position at the top of the swing. If we go take a look at 2020, we can see that yes, her club face position is definitely on the stronger side. However, compared to 2021, I would argue that it's not as shut as it is in 2021. Now, what does this really mean? Well, club face position at the top, yes, definitely has some correlation to what could potentially happen down at the bottom of the swing. However, you can start applying different types of wrist conditions on the way down to manage that shut face. And actually, at impact, you can actually come in with a relatively open face angle, even though you had a very shut face angle at the top of the swing. So what I'm trying to say there is, it's not 100% correlation to if you have a more shut face, you're automatically going to have a more shut face down there at the bottom of the ball. Now, what I can say is, let's say that they made two identical golf swings. However, one swing she just had a little bit more of a shut face at the top, and the other swing she didn't. If those two swings were identical, besides what I just said, then yes, the one that had the more shut club face will definitely have a more shut face angle down there at the bottom of the golf ball, and that could potentially draw to the left, again, dependent on where her club path is. So if this is the case, then you could argue that yes, having a little bit more of a shut face could potentially get her to miss the golf ball more to the left. However, would it get her to miss the golf ball more than 15 yards left of the reference line? It's really dependent on where her club path is going to be relative to that face angle. So this now brings up the question, well, what is her club path, and did it change in 2021 versus 2020? And to kind of start answering that question, let's go take a look at her club shaft position and kind of the differences at P5. Talk D plane, and specifically we're going to be talking about low point, swing direction, swing plane, and angle attack, and how those 4 data points can actually show you where your club path is going to be. So now, using the information we just learned, I'm going to give you guys an incredibly powerful equation, and 2 of them specifically, and you're going to see how if you change these numbers ever so slightly, you can change the direction of the curvature. And if you did not understand what's happening here, like i.e. if you're getting more shallow and you end up changing your swing direction, but you keep your angle of attack and you keep your face angle. So with her changing her club shaft position, is that potentially changing her swing direction? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.